I'm sick, as you can tell. I'm my time at work. Hopefully no one can see me because it's awkward. I guess this video is for all the girls who think that they can change an abusive person in an abusive relationship. And this is my story and why you're not going to, no matter how much you try. It took me 8 years and the worst shit ever to happen to me to realize that. I think before I start with sperm donors, that's how much I'm gonna refer to, because the sperm donors relationship, I want to describe how I was like in a relationship mentally wise and all that shit. And this isn't a kid appropriate, trigger warning, sexual assault, anything related to that. So before him and I dated, entered middle school, my self-esteem went down. And I was like a kiss ass to guys. And even when I lost my virginity, like I was 14, I was such a kiss ass to that guy, which, okay. And it was like that until I had a really messed up relationship with this guy. He was way older than me. He was 16. And he wasn't like cheating wise. He was really obsessed with me. Which was like nice, but like to an extreme. And we're not talking about that relationship, but that made me end up going to California. In California, my self-esteem went to the roof, and that was because of way older guys. And I think before, like I thought it was hot, and I'm trying to work myself through this video. Oh fuck. But yeah, I thought it was hot, and I thought there was nothing wrong with it, but now as a mom, I'm like, whoa. Like, I was underage, and some of these guys, anyway, my self-esteem went really good up. And so when I came back to Utah, I had 2 relationships. I was in a relationship with this guy who cheated on me, and I was gonna be petty. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, ah, fuck it, you know, whatever, come. And I didn't, and I was like, whatever. And then the second one was, I think that one broke my heart, and like that made me realize. It made me realize why I didn't want to have a boyfriend, why I wanted to have just friends. And before then, I didn't know that he got in some trouble, and he didn't want to tell me, so he just ended up breaking up with me, and I didn't know that at that time. So, like, it broke my heart. And after him, I didn't want a relationship. I was just like talking around, fucking around. That's where my mentality was. Like, I didn't want a boyfriend. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I just want to have friends. And just because I say I have friends doesn't mean that I was fucking around. No, I'm very picky, especially now. That is like, imagine just, that's what I was in conversation. But, yeah, just because I have friends or like flirting or whatever doesn't mean that I was fucking around. And that's how I was before I met him. Just filling out the field, you know, like I didn't want a boyfriend or anything. And then he messaged me. Oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this video, guys. So he messaged me, and I ignored him. I didn't know who he was. I didn't answer him, and then he messaged me again. I don't remember how long it took him to message me again. Just remember he messaged me again, and I looked him up on my common friends. He had one of my cousins and a friend of mine was a mutual. So it was on Facebook. And before I messaged him back, I had asked both of them, like, how did they know him? And I think, like, he was trying to get at them, and they kind of, like, dodged them. And so that's all I knew of him. And at that time, him and I were just talking, like, he made me laugh a lot, you know, and that's important because I was going through a lot at home. I wasn't even living with my mom at that time, and so I had so much shit going on at home, and like with him, I didn't have to think about that, and he had asked me out to be his girlfriend before we hung out for the first time, and I said no. People are like, you are my family, it's like a walk. But what I'm trying to say is, he asked me out before we had sex. And I said no. I was like, I don't know you, like, he asked me out again. But this time, this was a low ball. Like low ball, how you say. Because he asked me while he was, you know what, like while we were having sex, and of course, like in the moment, I said yeah. So it pissed me off. This kid started cheating on me. Like if I was the one who was begging for his ass, you know, like okay, whatever. Anyways, that happened. We were together. We got together on the 6th. Because we moved in on the 14th. And the reason we moved in was because I thought that I was pregnant, but I wasn't sure. So then my family had kind of figured out that I was pregnant, but I wasn't sure. Like, it wasn't a positive. Like, I was thinking negatives and positives, which I wasn't pregnant. That's what. I wasn't pregnant until March. And we were in February, so that whole time, I could have just I thought I was pregnant, and I went to live with him, and I didn't pretend because people always ask me, so there must have been good times with him, and the only time that was good with him was before I moved in with him. After that, it sucked ass. Like, it was the worst decision of my fucking past. So, I moved in with him. A weekend, I found out that he was cheating again. I am so FBI agent now because of this relationship. Because tell me how. I had a feeling he was cheating. He was at work. And I had a feeling. My gut feelings are never wrong. They're never, ever, ever, ever wrong. Ever. And I had a feeling to check his Snapchat, and I didn't know his password. I knew his email, but not his password. So I was like, fuck it. I remembered his favorite team, and his favorite number. Try that motherfucking shit. Ta-da. You know what pisses me off? He was the one talking to girls, while I was the one denying the conversations with guys, like, this whole time. Well, like, hear that into later too. Because he wasn't other girls' DMs, but he was texting, especially one of his exes, telling her that like he was just with me because of pity, and that he wanted her to be his stepmom, like, you know, like the mother of his child that we thought we were pregnant with. Telling her all this, I saw this shit. Mad, dude. I was mad as fuck. First of all, I wasn't even working. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna go with after finding out he cheated on me? what the fuck? And so I called one of my best friends back at that time. Because all of my best friends went away because he would hit on them, or he said that they would hit on him, which I don't believe that. Like, I genuinely don't, like, at all. And yeah, I lost friends because of him. Because, you know, I wasn't allowed to have guy friends, which, by the way, guys, that's a big red flag. If a guy says that you can't have guy friends, it's because he can't have girlfriends. They're just friends, you know. Anyways, I wasn't allowed to have guy friends, and all my friends, I decided to stop talking to them because, like they were acting sus together, or, like, he was having a thing, so I just better avoid that. Anyways, so I called my friend, and she was gonna come get me, and this whole time that I was at his house, I was crying like a dumbass. Like, these fuckers couldn't hear me. No one said anything. Like, I just, like, basically said, well, like, that's how guys are, like. And I don't get it. Like, if my brother had his girl at home and I found out that he got cheated on her, and she was crying, and she's pregnant with his child, and she was crying her eyes out. Well, I did think, you know, because we all thought. And I would beat his ass. I swear I would. I wouldn't be nice about it. I would be like, why are you doing that? Like, she's a mother of your future children, because you guys are pregnant and expecting and all this shit. And you're out here doing that shit, like, to make you feel like a fucking clown. Nope. His brother went to go get him from his work so he can come and talk to me, because that's hysterical. I ended up telling my friend to not call because we were going to work it out, because he came home crying to me, saying that, like, it was a mistake. I don't know how I let so much just slide, but I think, well, no, I do know. My therapist said it's because I wanted a family, and I wanted to work it out with him, with his perfect little family, because we were pregnant on this shit. And it is true, because, like, so that's how it was. That was the first week that I knew that. That's just 1 week. And by the way, he still texted other girls the next day after he cried. Like, I saw those messages too. So the guy can cry all he wants and still cheat on you, like nothing. Someone's out here. Anyways, where was it? So it was, yeah, guys cheating, blah, 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 blah. We all know that. And it continued like that, except, like, for 3 years. And I'm 3 years because I will admit to shit that I did. 3 years until I cheated back on him. What you think about, like, you're gonna be cheating on someone and cheating on someone, someone's just gonna be like, okay, like, I'm just gonna accept, like, that. And my mom's gonna be like, bitch. So, before the 3 years, like, it got extreme more, as in, like, I would find out that he would cheat on me, and because I wouldn't let go of it, and I wouldn't take his apology, he would break up with me, and then, like, kick me out of his house and take me to my mom's, or make his dad take me to his mom's, to my mom's. And it would be in the middle of the night, so, like, I'd be carrying my 1-year-old, or baby, infant, because he was an infant still too, and 1, and 2, while he would kick me out to my mom's, because I'm kind of cheating, and I guess it's my fault. And that's the thing. This whole time, like, he's been cheating on me. Everything that he blames on me, like, oh, because he didn't have sex with me, or he didn't do this, or he didn't cook, or he didn't clean, or he didn't do this. I went above and beyond that. Like, okay, this sex thing. After I started getting back at him, he didn't complain about it. Like, he didn't have a problem with it. Like, so obviously it wasn't that. And the food, I made him food to the point where, like, he said, oh my gosh, like, if I say delicious, and he would eat, like, servings twice, or more than twice. And the cleaning, I came to the point where like I wouldn't ask him for stuff to like help me put, like, because we lived in one room and gotta like organize stuff so that it doesn't become a mess. I would use the cardboard boxes leftover from like diapers and stuff like that to use as storage. Like, I improvised in everything, and all I asked, which I guess is a lot, was a safe home for my kids. That's all I wanted. And I'm not gonna get into all of that because I'm not about to like be exposing all this shit. And this I improvised. Like, and this isn't blackmail. Because like I know everyone's on my shit right now. It's just me telling my story right now because my relationship, and there's a lot of my other stuff that involves on why I was going crazy in that house. But I don't really want to talk about that right now, type of shit, you know? Well, I asked, like, I wanted to move out. I wanted to have my own place. I didn't even care if it was a basement. I didn't care if it was a room. I didn't even care. I just bought a studio. I didn't even care. I wanted to move out. And he took his parents' word each time, or their decision each time over mine, which, I mean, like, if you're going to be living with your parents and they're taking care of your kids and they're cleaning after you and cooking after you and all this shit, taking care of after you share it, ask your parents. Why not, you know? But if I'm going to be the one taking care of your kids, you're losing my shit in conditions that we're not going to talk about right now. And you're cheating on me over and over and over. But my word's not being taken like in consideration when we're together and all that shit. Then you might have, like, what are we doing here, you know? Anyways, there's so much to talk about that I don't know how to not to get distracted, and I'm pretty sure 100% sure. Well, no. Okay, you know, because I am diagnosed, like, I'm not with ADHD. I'm talking about that. Well, we were talking about that with my therapist. But I have post-traumatic PTSD from everything. Other shit, depression, like, I've been clinically, like, diagnosed. That's what I'm telling you, girls. Girls, if you're in this shit, you don't have kids, walk the fucking own day. Like, just not even work. Like, no. You can, like, do so much shit without, like, kids if you walk away with that relationship. And that's how I think about it sometimes. Like, right now, living in an abusive relationship and starting from scratch is a lot harder with kids than if it would have just been me, you know. And it's fine. Like, I always tell everyone, like, everything's happening for a reason. I dated for 3 years, basically. He just cheated on me. It was a lot of, like verbal, and he did hit me once. And he justified it because I was being a bitch. And I mean, like, okay. Yeah. So I just thought of that moment, which is oh wow. And I let it go on for a lot of years until it clicked that I was with someone who was never gonna change. But then also, the day that I cheated back on him was, so the night before I went through his phone again. And voila, what do you think we found? Duh, he was cheating again, once again. Just not a surprise, like, at this point. And I wasn't gonna wake him up again and have the same conversation of, why are you cheating? What did I do to you? I don't deserve this shit, all this shit. And him like, well, I'm sorry, like, I'm not okay, like, all this shit. So I literally texted a coworker of mine that he hated. We're gonna play games. I'm gonna play games to win, but anyways, did what I had to do, and I was like, you know, at that point, I was like, he finds out, that's gonna be my way of breaking up with him. If you want to cheat on me, bitch, there you go. But guess what, guys? When you're with a crazy ass person, that shit doesn't go the way that you think. When he found out, he decided that he couldn't live without me. And I'm laughing because how the fuck? What he did wasn't okay. He said that I wasn't there, but the officer said that he was threatening to like unalive himself, and which I guess that mattered to him then, because an FYI, not that it matters because it didn't matter before. I tried to unalive myself because of him twice, because of him cheating on me, and he would just play it off and make me crazy or whatever. And I guess when you cheat on someone, it means that you can't live without them, you know? Like, that's the logic. And he ended up going to a mental hospital, which I don't know what I did, because I felt so fucking bad, dude. I dropped off my son with my aunt to take care of him, her to take care of him. And I was there outside of that mental hospital in my car, because I had a car back then. But it wasn't mine. He said it was mine, but it wasn't mine. It's like, nothing was ever mine. He said it was, but then when you got married, like, no bitch, it ain't yours. God. Anyways. Oh my god. Things I try to forget, because I was out there every day, like, calling him, like, I was seeing him, like, and when he fucked up, when he cheated on me, when, like, all this shit, like, it wasn't, like, I don't understand, like, that's what blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know. So after that, like, it was me kissing his ass, because I was scared I was gonna do something, and it kind of became like that, you know. It got so toxic after, for a lot of fucking reasons. And I tried to leave before I had my daughter, while I was pregnant, after I was pregnant, before I had my last daughter, while I was pregnant, after I was pregnant, and it didn't work. Cops couldn't do shit because he wasn't hitting me, even though he was threatening me, even though he scared the shit out of me, even though he was abusing me mentally, verbally, and emotionally. It didn't matter. I had to call shelters, but shelters don't take you in unless you're high risk, which means they're beating you. And I understand they become first, you know, like, parents and family were kind of tired of me back in the day, like, going back to him and, like, not seeing that he wasn't a good for me. Like, I understand my family's point of view, so I wasn't trying to talk to my family. And especially because it got to the point where, like, I would tell him, because he would act like such a big man around his family, but in my family it wasn't like that. And I would always tell him, like, why do you have big balls around your family but not in my family? And he would start saying that we'll, like, bring you where we want, like, I'll mess them up. And so, like, I started backing away from my family because I didn't want anything to happen to them, and I didn't want to add more stress to them. I didn't want my shit to be more onto them, so I just backed away. And in church, honestly, the church that I was going to, I feel like failed me, except the missionaries. The missionaries saved me in the way that I have faith in God, because they showed up in times where I didn't let anyone know what was going on, and they just had this, they told me they had this feeling that they didn't make sure that I was okay. And if it wasn't because of them, I don't know what would happen. And but as in the church, because he said that he wanted to baptize himself, which, by the way, he said that he only did it so that I would shut up and stop bugging him. He said because of that, they would take it like, well, he's trying to better himself, and he would try harder, all this stuff. But they didn't see the emotional, like, that's what it sucks. Because I'm telling you guys, I'm really smart. He's like, he used my kids a lot in this, like, the way that he manipulated, like, he would, especially my oldest, that's why it's so hard right now, like, this transition, like, I'm getting them all help, but, like, I am trying my hardest with my oldest, because he's been through so much, and you don't understand the emotional, and, like, the verbal, and the mental abuse that goes behind everything, and I didn't understand it. Like, I'm talking about this because before, I used to be this big shit talker, like, damn, girls who go through domestic abuse, that isn't, like, well, even beaten too, I was like, you're stupid, you know, how the fuck do you not walk away? And now, like, God has teaching me this big lesson, because I get it, like, it's fuck, man. And it went like that until in January, where things were just a lot, like, we were just fighting every freaking day, where I just didn't want to be there, I didn't want to be with him. I already tried to leave in a hotel. He was making it impossible. He was pulling the legal dad card, and it got to the point where we didn't go back to each other. But he decided now he wanted to be monogamous, you know, because he was talking to girls. He literally said he fucked a girl, he kept talking to girls, and I knew that, like, he just wanted to be there to be the picture for it. I don't know what the fuck he wanted to. Because, like, how the fuck do you cheat on someone and treat someone so bad that they don't want to be in this earth anymore? And then you say that you do, that you want to make it work, but don't show any of it, like, you know? And that's what sucks, because, like, I was his biggest cheerleader since day one, because he's had problems with his family since I've met him. And I've always told him that he could do it, like, we could do it. And I always showed him and, like, motivated him. And for me, for everything to have gone the way that I had done, it honestly pisses me off. And, like I said, everything in January, we were fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And, like I said, I all of a sudden he wanted to be monogamous. He got mad when I was talking to a guy. But the thing is, he got more mad that this guy was willing to go above and beyond for me without having to have open my legs. And then also, he had a big feeling that him and the guy that I had, because, okay, I don't know who told him. One time, him and I started fighting. He said that all my hoes were telling him this. I don't know who these hoes were talking about. Because since this whole time that I've been with him, the only fucking hoe that I've had is one motherfucking hoe, and that hoe knows who he is. And that's the only hoe I had. The other hoes, you haven't been a hoe. We were not together. Like, him and I were not together. Like, you're not that special, you know? So I don't know what the fuck, you settle down. Anyways, he had a feeling that him and I were talking, so, like, we were just arguing over that, and it just got a lot more, and I just, like, got to the point where I didn't want to be with him, he didn't want to be with me, and he was kicking me out. He had to call my family in the middle of this shop fight that was, like, that was arguing. In the morning, he decided to come up to me and say that he wanted to work things out. But that's not what happened. I will always say this, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know why I say this, because I do have a freaky side, but I will always say that it doesn't matter if you have a freaky side, or if you're freaky, or if you're with someone. But if someone tells you no, if someone is crying, if someone's asking and pleading you please to stop, you stop. You don't hurt them more. One day my kids are going to see this video, and it's going to be the day that they decide to have sex or to be doing all this shit, because I'm going to show them what happens when you have kids with the wrong person. Because that morning, he did something to me that no one should have to go through. I asked him to please stop. I asked him a lot of times. I was crying, and he didn't. Not only he didn't, but he did it while our kids were in the house, and that didn't matter. And he did it while him knowing everything that has happened to me as a child. This will be the first time that I actually say it. But as a kid, I got sexually molested. And he was the first one to know. He was the first one to help me through it. That's the thing, when no one understands about being in an abusive relationship, especially the mental side and emotional side, it can be really bad a lot of the times. But when it's not, when they dedicate that one day to you, it's like above him, that you're like on this high pedestal. And that's how it was, you know, when he wanted to. And for him to know what had happened to me, and for him to do what he did to me, because he's not okay. And after he did what he did to me, the only reason I told him that he could let me get out of the room was so that I could, it was obvious, because I told him that I would get over it if he would let me, like, give me some time. And I couldn't get over it. that whole day he wouldn't leave me alone. And it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I kept seeing my kids, and I'm like, damn, what would happen if this happened to them? And it sucks because I was in bed, I didn't have a phone, I didn't talk to my family. And so the next morning, I have anxiety, and I have it really bad. And if that mixed with what happened didn't go well, I really hope his family is watching this video, because I'm not gonna lie, like I said, when everything happened, after it happened, I was really mad for the people that were saying and judging me and all this stuff, but I'm not mad anymore. I'm getting my life back together so that when things like this happen, and when it happens to someone that you care about, I'm gonna be there helping them and telling that it's not their fault. Because what happened is not what I expected to happen. We started arguing the next day a lot because I couldn't let it go, and I was getting really bad, and my anxiety was getting really bad with everything that happened. And we were arguing. His dad got involved. I told his dad what happened. Everything's going good, no crying. I told his dad what happened. The whole time he just told me that I had to forgive him and that his son loved me and to do it for the kids. You don't tell that to someone, ever. And how do you say that when you have grandkids? His brother did try to calm him down, was trying to tell him to let me chill out, to give me my space. And it continued like that until I got really bad. His brother was in his room, and the kids were crying, I was crying, and his dad said, we'll take the kids to the other room so that you can calm down. I said okay. The only reason I said okay was so that I could leave, because the room that they're going to take the kids is outside, and the main door is you have to open that door. I opened that door, I literally tried to leave, and Donor decided to grab me. I don't know how I did it, but I got out of his grip. His dad tried to grab me. He wouldn't let go of me until his brother came out and said, why are you doing that? Don't you see that if you tell people that you wouldn't let go, you're going to get in trouble? He let go of me. I ran to the nearest Starbucks. That's when I got help, and my family helped me. I'm here now, and the reason I'm sharing this is because today there's court, and God works in really weird ways. It's been a weird day. We're moving in their place. We're having my own place. I have a good job. By the time you guys are seeing this video, I will be in my new place. That's the reason it's going to be at premiering at night. You love him and you think it's going to get better. It's not. Please trust me. It's not, and it won't. I will always make it. The biggest advice that I will tell my kids is focus on yourself and focus on having money and focus on having a job and a house and everything before you decide to bring kids into this world. And be with someone, because people manipulate that shit with you. They manipulate it, and you don't want to be in my shoes or in a lot of girls' shoes who are worse. I am so thankful that I have walked away a little bit alive, and I have all of my kids, and I have the help that I have. I love my family, especially my family who accepted me in. They've seen me at my worst. They have helped me and motivated me to know that I am better and I can do better. And I'm so grateful for everyone who's helped me. After this, I don't know when I'll start posting, because it's a lot. I'm going through a lot. I'm trying to get through a lot and trying to get my kids back up, my kids' life, and give them a good life so that I can start helping people who are in my shoes and help them, because that's all I want. I want to help people. It sucks to be alone in my shoes and in the shoes that I was, and I don't want anyone else to go through it, because all I think about is the kids, especially with kids. Kids don't deserve to see what my kids have seen, you know? So yeah, bye.